Opinion polls, there are a whole batch of them that have come out, and you're right, these are the last ones. You can't crunch numbers after this, no opinion polls. 62% Macron, 38% for Marine Le Pen, according to several different polls right now. And it's not simply the numbers. There seems to be a widening gap, a slightly widening gap over the past day or so between both candidates, with Macron in more of a sort of resounding lead. And what's going on here? Well, there seems to have been a turning point, if you can trace it, really after that debate this week. And what happened was, Marine Le Pen has really spent her entire campaign, and her raison d'etre has been this undemonizing, if you will, of the image of the National Front, the mainstreaming of it, making it acceptable, normalizing it. The word the French use is banalisation. And the whole idea has been, literally, after the years of her father, seen as a virulent, strident, extreme nationalist, bigoted, racist, xenophobic, to tone down that image, to moderate it, to take the bigotry and the xenophobia out. There's sort of indications with these polls, if you're to believe it. She's been lambasted, Marine Le Pen, widely, or pilloried may be the better term, but in the French press at least, for her performance in the debate. Seen as an extremely angry, overly aggressive debate based on a lot of attacks and insults, but very little, nary any real policy proposals in the speech. And she may be right now seeing sort of the fallout, the backlash against it. In the wake of that debate, one of the polls showed that among the National Front supporters, that is her own supporters, 12% found her rival, Emmanuel Macron, more convincing in that debate. She's had a couple of campaign events in the past 2 days. One today where she was at the Cathedral of Reims, where she met a lot of protesters, and she had to slip out through her back door. And the day before, yesterday, she had eggs tossed at her, and she had to duck for cover and be scurried off by her bodyguards in another appearance in a small town here in northern France. So she's been facing protests, and she's been denouncing it as intolerance, not in the democratic image that she seeks to promote, that hatred. But she's been facing trouble in the home stretch of her campaign. And the question is, how much can you trust those polls? Well, the polls were right in the first round. Very accurate, very right, not just about the numbers, but the actual order of the first 5 candidates. So if you're to believe the polls now, it would seem that she has done herself quite a disservice with her strategy in that debate, which is still, we're still seeing the fallout of it in this last day of campaigning.